welcome to Capricorn season. Thanks for tuning in to the Embodied Astrology podcast. I'm Renee Sills. I'm a consulting astrologer, embodiment educator, and the creator of Embodied Astrology. If you enjoy my readings, make sure to order your 2025 Year Ahead Expanded Horoscope now. These 2-hour Embodied Astrology yearly forecasts for each sign go in depth with the most important transits, offering embodied suggestions for making the most of the opportunities and working skillfully with the challenges. You can order your 2025 reading by clicking the link below. If my work benefits you and you want to help me keep giving these monthly readings for free or help keep all of our offerings at EA financially accessible and sliding scale, please take a moment right now to like, follow, and subscribe to our channels. This is the #1 way you can help us grow. This season's horoscopes are intuitive offerings for each sign of the zodiac. I hope that they serve and support you in some way. Listen for your sun, moon, and rising signs. And remember that not everything is for everyone, so take what works, leave the rest, and make the meaning that's most meaningful for you. Thanks for being here. Onto your horoscope. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Capricorn season. Capricorn is an interesting energy for Gemini to work with. It is truly different than you. In the schematic of the zodiacal wheel, Capricorn holds a relationship to Gemini that's kind of weird and hard to see. And where Capricorn lives in your chart is called the solar 8th house. And it is a place that is full of taboos and fears and phobias and discomforts. It's also a place that has a lot to do with the deepest kinds of satisfaction that you can possibly have. And so it's a place of allurement and enchantment. It's a place of alchemy, and it's a place of deep bondedness, vulnerability, and the potential to cultivate trust. In your Sagittarius season horoscope, I was talking to you a lot about your relationships and the influences that are really shaping your relationships astrologically right now have to do with the retrograde cycles of your ruling planet Mercury, who has been moving through your 7th house of one-on-one relationships, committed partnerships. That includes romantic partners, friendships, business partners, collaborators. It also includes the basic level of relationship that we are interacting with all the time as we come into contact with other individuals. And we're also working with Mars retrograde in Leo, heading back into the sign Cancer, about halfway through Capricorn season. And Mars retrograde is an opportunity for Gemini identified people to really clarify some of your deep values and needs and desires and be able to communicate about them in ways that I think will ultimately really help you grow and evolve in your relationships. And I am putting a big umbrella around your relationships right now. So I'm including all levels of relationship, but I also really want to emphasize the kinds of relationships that are about community and about feeling a greater sense of belonging. So as we move into Capricorn season, there is a need for you to really attend to this kind of like deeper place of the, what I'm going to say is like the subtext of relationships, of the psychology of your connections and your bonds. There may also be a real distinct need that you are aware of to end or significantly change how you are relating with someone specifically, or maybe with multiple people or in general. This is a period of time that you want to treat, I think, ceremonially. You will benefit during this period of time by having some kind of ritual or practice that you engage with that helps you remember what it is that you are trying to make space for and rework and transform in your relational life. The first little more than half of Capricorn season, from the solstice on December 21st until through the first week of January, is a period of time that feels really energized. There is a kind of building momentum in the world right now. Many of you, I think, may be also kind of sensing that you need to prepare for this. And some of you might not be focusing so much on like impending change in particular or specific relationships. You might actually be thinking about relationships in general in the world at large and how you see things changing collectively, politically, societally, etc., and how you want to be participating in this moment of change. And that might mean that you are ready to present yourself in new ways. Some of you are feeling like you need to get more bold and outspoken and be dynamic in some way that is like a shift. It is a break from the status quo and a shift from whatever has been your normal. And so this first half of Capricorn season, there's a lot of energy for change. There's this building momentum, and you are changing, but a lot of people are changing. And there are as many ways to change as there are people, right? So it's also kind of a chaotic feeling time. And I think that a lot of you are trying to figure out, like, how do you move forward right now with so many things amok? And so many people probably in their own kind of figuring it out, of what they need to do. I cannot encourage you enough to try and quiet the external noise and really focus in on your reasons for your why. And the sensation I'm getting here is that you are in a profound moment of growth and evolution. You have made some important decisions in the last couple of years that have changed your life path significantly. The commitment that you have to the underlying reason that has been the foundation of those changes, that is what you want to be meditating on right now. Tune in with your own vertical axis, your connection to Earth, your connection to your higher self, your sensation of your own reason, your own why. And in the unknown of what's happening in relationships and with other people, try and trust that other people will make the decisions that they need to make, and that you are going to be best served by making the decisions that you need to make from this place of centrality and awareness and focus in your reason and your vertical axis. There's a new moon on December 30th that feels like an important new moon for you to be with your own energy. If any of you are grieving or mourning right now, specific losses that are personal to you, collective losses that are resounding across the environment and the globe, this is a very powerful new moon for you to be in a grief practice, and also to be connecting with ancestral support and wisdom. If you have any kinds of divination practices or ways that you tune in with the liminal, this is a very powerful new moon for Gemini identified people to really ask for connection, ask for guidance, ask for support in healing, and particularly in healing the parts of your ego and mindset and body mind that have been shaped by cultures of violence and oppression and separation and dislocation. You are making space inside of your own psyche as you kind of give room for grief, for mourning, for healing. You are making space for new experiences of collectivism, of family, of friendship, of networks. And this is ultimately, I think, what a lot of you are calling in. Many of you have felt some pretty remarkable shifts, I'm going to say, in the recent past that are inspiring you to be in relationships very differently. And I think your relationships are changing. A lot of you might not have found it yet, but there are spaces, places, groups of people that really resonate with the ways that you center, right? And so this feeling of what centers you, what do you stand for? What are you calling forth from your highest self right now? There are community spaces, there are friend groups that love that like they want to be a part of it. And I will say there's also a lot of learning for you. So when you tune in with what you're trying to cultivate and why it's really important for you, also tune in with how much there is to learn and how much there is to grow. And if you organize yourself in those directions, and if those are your priorities and that's how you are embodying at this time, and that kind of supports your decisions, your behaviors, your perspectives, etc., that's going to make space for the right relationships and the right kinds of attitudes and the right kinds of groups of people to find you and for you to find them. And as we move into the second half of Capricorn season, there is a really noticeable shift in energy and attitude. Mars is entering Cancer in its retrograde at this point. Mercury is moving out of your opposite sign, Sagittarius, where it had its retrograde, and moving also into Capricorn, where the sun is. And this is deepening collective consciousness. This is increasing sensitivity and awareness of emotion. And for a lot of people, there may also be an increase in reactivity, as well as like severity of reaction and feelings of like seriousness and somberness. This is a period of time when there is a lot of preparation for what is to come. And a lot of what is to come we don't know, but a lot of what is coming we may have some kind of idea about it because we see what the strategy is, or there has been some kind of examination of patterns that are playing out. And during this last half of Capricorn season, I really feel a lot of you preparing. And this is an important time for you to pay attention to what you need and also what you have. This is material. This is also emotional and energetic. This has everything to do with your relationships, because in the realms of relationships, there is a lot of what you need. And in order for us to move forward into whatever is coming, we need community, we need safe spaces, we need people that we can trust, and relationships that allow us to grow inside of them. That means that we need to be able to hold each other with accountability. We have to be able to navigate conflict skillfully. We have to be able to be with each other through hardships and unknown, as we also turn towards what is next and what we are calling in. And this brings me back to what I've already said, which is that it is so important for you to be connecting with your greater purpose right now. And in that, for you to be connecting with people and with communities that share something about this purpose. So it doesn't have to align exactly. In fact, it probably won't. We are not looking for conformity. We're looking for resonance and support. In the places where you feel your own sense of purpose and central clarity gets stronger, those are the relationships that you want to lean into and cultivate. It is such an important time for you to know what you value, and it's such an important time for you to know what you need. Those will be guiding factors for you in your relational landscape. It's also such an important time for you to really understand what you have and what you have to give. And that requires an internal examination and spiritual research. What you have is everything that you are, and what you have to give is everything that you are and that you have been made from somehow. And your capacity to value who you are and to value what you have to give is absolutely essential right now. It is really important for you, Gemini, that you feel your greater sense of purpose. And it is so important that you are connecting with others who share in that purpose, and that you are connecting in ways that are about giving people what they need. And that includes you inside of your relationships. That includes something bigger, maybe. I don't know what it means for you. But there's some sense here of needing to group and collect in ways that you can share resources and that you can lean into others' generosity and what they have to share with you. And somehow, in the ways that you are grouping and coming together, I think that you have an idea about how what you have and what you value and what is deeply, deeply valuable and necessary for all can be cultivated and shared and cared for in more collective ways. The full moon on January 13th is a full moon in Cancer, and it really highlights these kinds of themes. This is an amazing time, I would say, to be social. The new moon on the 30th of December, good time to be alone, be in your practice, be in your ritual. The full moon on January 13th, great time to be social. If you can devise some kind of social gathering that has to do actually with feeding other people or being fed or coming together in some kind of way that is about sharing resource and building collective nourishment and strength and solidarity, that would be a wonderful way to not just honor the full moon, but to be with whatever is happening in the world at that time and to strengthen these growing sensations that I feel in your chart that have to do with both a very personal, very deep, very soulful alignment, as well as something that is a lot more communal that's opening up, that is about you connecting with groups of people, networks of people, visions for how it could be for the people, where you feel a sense of belonging and maybe even more than that. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I hope any or all of that feels helpful and supportive to you. I am wishing you all the best in Capricorn season and beyond. Bye for now. Thanks so much for listening to your Capricorn season reading. If this horoscope resonated for you, please show your support by liking, following, and subscribing, and by sharing this work with your friends and community. And if you want more, don't forget to order your 2025 year ahead reading, where I go in depth with the big picture and main themes of this year for your sun, moon, and rising signs. This season, I hope you'll join me for Somatic Space, which is a class I offer every Monday where we prepare ourselves to work with the astrology of the week ahead through gentle healing body practices, breathwork, meditation, and visualization. You can drop in once to try it out, or if you become a member, you'll also get access to the past classes video archive, as well as Tea Time, which is a monthly meetup and conversation space where we learn and share how astrology is moving through our lives. You can find more information about working with me and other Embodied Astrology events in the show notes or through the study section at embodiedastrology.com. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for listening and engaging. I truly hope to see you in an Embodied Astrology space soon. Bye for now.